Hello everybody, hello. I hope that you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. So far the month of June is about to come to an end, and I told myself, Gloria, why haven't you posted anything? But hey, I'm here right now. Guys, pardon me, it is winter time, and I can see I'm wearing a very thick jacket. Woof, why am I rushing? Okay, so today guys, I would love to share with you on my bullying experience in school. I'm going to share half of it in South Africa, half of it in Congo, and the impact it had on me as a child at the time. And what triggered this video is the amount of news that I'm seeing of children, especially here in SA, that are committing suicide because of being bullied, you know. And it also made me think about the fact that kids in this day and age have it harder. You have what you call cyberbullying, all these social media things. People can really go to the extreme, and even in terms of violence, like I feel like kids of nowadays are more violent than the ones that in my age. In my time, we would not easily just pull up a knife on someone because of this or because of that, or even pull a gun on somebody because we disagree on things. And also, as a psychologist, I can also say, no, I don't consider myself a psychologist in training. I would really say that I understand the psychological, the mental effect this thing has on a human being, psychological, mental, and sometimes even turns out to be physical effects that it can have on a human being. And I really wanted just to share my experience, and I also wanted just to encourage parents out there as well on just a few things that you can do for your child to help them, you know, keep their confidence, because these are the things that my parents did for me, both my mom and dad. It only took me it's only when I started thinking of how I'm going to unravel, or how I'm going to carry out this video, I really realized, but my parents really played a huge role in how I ended up surviving, in my survival, let me rather say it like that. They played a huge role, and for that I am extremely grateful. So before I get into the video, I have been listening to a song that has been playing in my head that says, I cannot fail. For me to fail, God has to fail, because my God cannot fail. I cannot fail. I just wanted to encourage you, the God that you trust, the God that you believe in, I'm telling you, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords cannot fail. And when you are his child and you are anchored in him, you hold on to him, he cannot fail, because he knows if he fails, you are going to fail. So yeah, God is good, guys. God is good, is gracious, is wonderful, is marvelous, and he will not allow your foot to stumble, you know. He will not allow you to go into a place that is not good for you. So God cannot fail. This 2024, you are going to see the goodness of God. While growing up, I was, you know, these things of putting your child a year in advance. So I think I started grade 1 with at the age of 4.5 or 5, if I remember correctly. Guys, I was always the youngest in class, which of course it's a nice thing being the youngest in class, but with that came a lot of challenges. I had encountered bullying from both peers and teachers, and I remember being bullied in grade 1, being bullied in grade 2, you know, like all these girls. There are these girls that come from, you know, they have a silver spoon and looking at you and thinking that, yeah, you've got nothing. Well, as I lacked nothing, guys. When I was back home, my parents, regardless of the challenges, my mom and dad always made sure that we lack nothing. Even though, you know, they could lack something, they made sure that should we be in front of people, we must look presentable, we must have our school stationaries and so forth. So I remember getting to grade 3, and then I encountered this young man. I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. But I encountered this young man that was the class monitor, and I think many of us have stories with class monitors. Is that a class monitor that was practically bullying everyone? Like, he would say, bring me, when you have your stationery, he does not have the stationaries, and you'll be like, hey, today I'm gonna seize your pen. So that young man will come to me. Today will take my book, tomorrow he will take my pen, the day after he'll take my pencil, he'll take my eraser. And I will come back home to my mom, because my mom had this thing of buying stationeries in stock. So I'll come back to my mom, I'm like, I need a pen. The day after, I need a pen. My mom was like, where are you throwing your pen? What's happening with your pen? And I couldn't tell my mom, like, okay, this is what's happening at first. I was like, no, I'm trying to be a bit strong and all of that. And taking my pen from me. And it was a constant thing, to a point my mom was like, if you lose, like, my mom gave me this one particular pen because we used to use blue pens. She said, if you lose this pen, I'm not giving you another one. So I remember going to school, that boy bullied me, and I was scared to go back home. I'm like, hey, my mom told me that I must not lose this pen, and I don't want to be, my mom will pull my cheeks, she will deal with me. I remember strolling home. I was afraid to go home. I'm like, how am I gonna tell? It was very, because I felt like at some point no one will understand what I was going through, and no one will really relate to the challenges I was experiencing at that time. So I fought. I remember fighting my way for a couple of days, fighting my way through. When we're busy writing on the board, I'll also be writing, borrowing my friend's pen. So my book had different color pens. So one day I eventually told my mom, no, listen, this is what happened. I lost my pen, or this person has been taking my stuff, and it's because of this and this and that. My mom was like, no, you need to know how to stand up for yourself. So she brought me new stationeries, took them to school, and this boy wanted to take them from me, and I fought back. I was like, you're not going to do that today. So now, because of that, the boy now found me, it turns me into how do you call this? Well, I became a victim to all his schemes. So should the class be noisy, and the teacher stands up and is like, look for kids who are making a noise, even if I'm not saying anything. I could be sitting there quiet, because I was a very quiet kid in class. I was very shy, didn't want to stand out. I still don't like to stand out in so many things. I'm a very introverted person. But because of the vendetta, because of the fact that I fought back and I told him, no, I'm not going to give you my stuff anymore, I'm standing for what is mine, this boy would always write my name on the board as the person that is making a noise. And the teacher, because in school we still had corporal punishment, so every single day I'll come home with scars on my legs, scars on my arms, because the teacher, and I don't even know how the teacher really never noticed. He really never noticed that this was an occurrence. Like, I would be like, I was not making a noise. The teacher would take it personally that I'm even saying that I was not making a noise, because he heard noise, and it doesn't matter where it came from. He had to make an example out of me. So I would come home with scars. First day, second week, third week. My dad was like, this is not going to go on like that, because the boy told me, if you want this to stop, you need to give me your stuff. And I was like, I don't even know what was so special about my stuff, because I don't know. I think he just preferred to bully me. He preferred to make an example out of me, that it just became a thing that was happening every single day. So now, just to cut a long story short, after a couple of weeks, my dad decided to pay the school a visit. And my dad was like, it's either this guy stands against me, like faces me, we're going to do a few punches, or he leaves my daughter alone. So I remember during my break time, I see my dad rocking up there. Oh my goodness gracious. For those who know my dad is a strong built person. So my dad was coming to the school. I saw my dad during break time in the school. Everybody was like, hey, Gloria, your dad is here, your dad is here, your dad is here. And I'm standing there, I'm like, why is this guy coming to school? My dad was furious, you could see it. My dad went quickly to the principal's office, and he was like, I have been hearing XYZ, and I'm not going to tolerate this type of treatment towards my child. And based on what I know, this is what has been happening, and what. So my dad told they called the teacher. So my dad told the teacher, next time you lay your hands on my daughter, it's going to be either you or me, we are going to be face to face. We are going to throw some fits around. And if you know me, you know that, you know what I mean? So the principal was like, oh no, don't do it. My dad literally threatened that guy. I told him, if you try, we're gonna take it to the ring, and I'm gonna make sure that you don't win. So when that had already transpired, the principal was like, this is not going to be a good move for me to leave this girl into this class, and she decided to move me to another class. So that is how the bullying stopped. And I think word had gone out that, hey, this girl's dad is not to be played with. And some teachers could not even understand why it was such a, like, why was I always, you know, why I was a victim to that. They could not really relate, because when I went to my other teacher, my teacher loved me so much, and she could really see, it was a female, by the way. She was really kind, and of course I excelled in my studies. Of course I came back home with less scars. Well, I did not even have scars anymore. I was happy. I was happy. So now fast forward to South Africa. Here we are, new bees in South Africa and everything like that. My dad signed me up for school, and I had to start school. Oh my goodness, I did not even have uniform for my first week at school. I did not have uniform, but yeah, I had to wear some clothes just to make it to school. And it was my first time where people made me so self-conscious of my physical, you know, features. I am someone that is, well, like, strongly built. My legs are for days. My legs are athlete legs. So when I would walk into the school, you hear, quiri quiri, oh, Keita, oh, big legs, oh, this and that, all different. The Xhosa will call it in their language. You'll be like, yo, yo, yo. And these ones will be like, yay, Keita. Like, I'm laughing at it now, but guys, it was hard walking into school. I'm this new girl. I don't even know the language well, still getting used to the country, and having to be teased about my features. I don't even know what made it so special at that particular point. I don't even know what made it so special for them to really go on the way they were going on. So it started building a spirit of anger in me. I became very angry. I was angry at my parents. I'm like, why, you know, kids, teenagers, at that age I was a teenager. I was like, why did you have to put me in a school where I have to wear a skirt? Why can't you even put me in a school where I had to wear pants? And I remember it was something I was even asking my mom. I'm like, for the following year, please take me to a school where nobody will see how my legs look like. I'll just have to wear a gray pants. And, you know, those schools that wear gray pants and a jersey, I wanted to be in that school. So I struggled, guys. I struggled a lot. I started fighting in high school. I was fighting so much. And when I say fighting, when I give you a slap, I'm telling you, you either bleeding or you're going to have an instant headache and you're going to go home. You won't even be able to stay at school anymore. So I realized that with that anger, it was not doing me any good. It was not doing me any good at all. But one person that took me in through that journey was my mom. My mom will speak positivity into my life. I remember that was the time that plastic surgery started coming. You know, the time of Tara Banks and all of that. Plastic surgery was becoming now a thing, or they were introducing it to the world. That I remember telling my mom that I would love to have my legs reduced. Like, my mom was like, why? Look at me, I've got these legs. And I was like, I know you've got these legs, but you don't have to go through what I go through every single day, where everybody has to stay, everybody has to say something negative about the things that you see beautiful. My mom will speak positivity into my life. And with the fact that I started fighting in school, it landed me into a position where I became very lonely. Like, I became lonely in the fact that I did not have friends. Many girls were very afraid of me. Even many people did not know the type of person that I was, because they felt like they couldn't be themselves around me because I would beat them. So it kind of made me sad. That was the impression that I had to sit by. But that was my survival guide. That was the way that I had to survive. And if not for my mom's prayers, my mom standing up to me, standing up for me and speaking for me. And I also had a friend, I wish you could watch this video, but yeah, she's in the army right now. That friend of mine used to speak for me. She would stand up for me at times. And sometimes she'll go and hang out with her friends. I'll be sitting there like, it's fine, you can go, I'll wait. I will wait for you here, or something like that. But when I see now kids of nowadays committing suicide because So guys, I'll have to wrap up this video for now. My son is in the car now, so I can't even concentrate that well anymore. So as I was saying, a lot of baby shark, okay, a lot of situations that I see these kids committing suicide, you know, submitting to all these things that have been happening to them. It really makes me sad, and I just wanted to encourage anyone that is watching this video. You could be a parent. Speak life into your children. Be present regardless of the busyness of life. Go out there and do something for your children. Fight for your children like my parents did for my dad did for me. I'm really grateful, and I think it helped me survive in I don't know what would have happened if it did not go ahead and do what it did with that teacher and that child. And also in high school, my mom kept speaking life into me, and before I knew it, I had built confidence, I had built self-esteem. And I just wanted to let you know that it is only for a moment. You know what I mean? It is only for a season. What you are going through, so many children are going through it in so many places, and so take heart. This too is just for a season. You're gonna make it through. You're gonna survive this. You are going to survive this. If I can be where I am today, God, goodness gracious, I'm able to help others also build their body positivity. In whatever challenges your children go through, in whatever challenges you go through, just know that God has you, and you are going to survive. You're going to get through this. Even if it means you need to change your friends, it's very important that you do so, because you cannot suffer in silence. Share with those who need to listen. And please, parent, let us also listen to our children. Let us not always dismiss them, even though some of them are very bubbly and everything. Let us not dismiss them and thinking that it's because you are like this, it's because you are like that, that's what this is happening to you. Let us actually go out there and see the root cause of all of this and see how we can assist them. So I have to wrap up this. Guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening to my experience. And love and light to you all. Bye.